I do want to talk about Thrawn. It's an important part of the show. And who is Thrawn?
You
What
know,
are
I'm
we
not
expecting to see? What's his what
Twitter
his
blue.
what's his character?
Probably.
Twitter blue,
Disruption.
hilarious. Um, there are different thoughts about who his core character is in this series that I've been reviewing. The 2017 Thrawn novel, 2018 Thrawn Alliances. They happened just before and just after season 3 of Rebels. And Timothy Zahn had the scripts for Rebels when he was writing the books. So this is done in collaboration. It's not like they were done in a silo away from one another.
Hmm.
So when you see Thrawn in season 3 of Rebels, the books support that Thrawn that you see. Um, but I think if you watch the season without any other context, you may have a misinterpretation of who that Thrawn is. For example, at the very beginning of season 3, they talk about this battle that took place and that more civilians were killed than the military. You read the book and you find out that it was Governor Price that killed the civilians, but Thrawn ended up taking the blame. He didn't kill them. He had nothing to do with it. In fact, he got very, very angry that it
Sounds like the
happened.
blue washing of history to me.
That it happened against his will. It made him very angry, and he tried to take Arinda down as part of that, but she worked out a deal with him. So he was going to hold her accountable for those deaths, and Arinda Price came back and said, "I'll make you a deal." Like,
Yeah, that all of that. I think all of this is just going to contradict because you need a big bad, and that's what he of the era and for the film and stuff like that.
Mm.
And if he's really just a good guy doing the right thing for the right reasons and all that, like it's not going to play into that black and white Dave Filoni Star Wars mythos that he
And
always has
again,
done,
the
except for Anakin. But
some of the great villains are villains who believe they are right, that they aren't
oh,
doing it.
and he will,
So,
he will. No, I agree
yeah.
with you guys there. He will think he's doing things right, but will they even give us? Will they give us Thrawn motivation?
well, that's the thing, and that's what I don't know. Like, that's why I brought up the season 3 of Rebels.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
just watch season 3 of Rebels, Timothy Zahn wrote the books with that in mind, right? Like, he was
Yeah.
reading those scripts, and the books play perfectly into and out of that season. These
Okay,
two
okay.
books are
So
bookends to that season.
So Zahn's gonna go write a book where he's like, actually, Thrawn didn't want to just do all the bad stuff. He wanted to do some good stuff too.
Well,
Like,
he's trying to defend the lives of the people by not letting the Grisks come in
Right.
and wipe everybody out. So he's trying to build strength, and I think the motivation has to be, especially as we start to look at the New Republic and Mon Mothma are trying to demilitarize, and in the books, not Thrawn is saying we need the strongest military we can have. We need to be reinforced and at maximum strength to be able to confront this. And so he's going to want to reverse all the things that Mon Mothma is doing, all of the little fiefdoms that are breaking up the remnants of the Empire. He's going to want to pull back together because we need a super strong military that can confront this. It doesn't have to be in the same mold as the Emperor's empire, but he needs an empire to exist in full strength so that the Gris can be encountered. And I want to show you guys another quote from the book. Let me get it here ready because it's absolutely fantastic. And let me put this on the screen for you all. And this is shared when you get the Kindle books. They show you where a bunch of people highlighted the same quote, and this has over 800 highlights of the same quote. It says, "The Grand Admiral was smart and subtle, but he never used his brilliance to show up or humiliate anyone. He demanded results, but never perfection. He had amazing stories of patience for those who were truly working their fullest ability. He cared about his people, to the point of standing up for them, even against the disapproval of powerful men like Lord Vader.
I like Vader style better. Just choke him out.
So he cares about his people. He's not throwing people under the bus when they fail. He will hold them accountable, but he's not necessarily throwing them under the bus to put himself in a better condition.
In the very first scene of the show, we're going to see somebody fail on him and shoot him. Watch.
No, that'll make me angry. That'll make me angry. But he truly wants to protect the lives of the people, both the Chiss Ascendancy and the people who are in what we know as like the New Republic, by confronting the Grisk, strength versus strength. And demilitarizing is not the answer. So how do you end up with a bad guy Thrawn, to both of your points? It's the guy who thinks he's doing good, but he's the opposition of the good guys.
So does it just go? Does it just go political in terms of like how they handle it, in the sense that like, oh, he's just an imperialist at the end of the day, like for the show, like because the show isn't going to go, oh, let me tell you about the Grisk. They're not in the show, but let me tell you about. They're not going to. I don't think they're going to do that. I would bet
think
against
he's
them.
saying there's a greater threat out there that is going to kill everybody. It's going to kill everybody.
So if he says that,
yeah,
Santa, that has to be the film. Do you believe
Yes.
the film is the Grisk?
Yes.
Because if they do that, they are promising that, as that's what and everybody watches for the film. But I feel like they are setting up a republic versus the heir to the empire.
Yeah, I don't even think it's Republic necessarily versus the Empire. I don't think they're in the position to. I think it's our Avengers essentially against Thrawn and his his army.
Rangers of the New Republic. That's what
I hope it's not called that, by the way.
That's what
I think you've got multiple factions. You've got Mandalorians, New Republic, remnants of the Empire with different Moffs, like Moff Gideon, who have their own troops, and we saw the
Moffers.
Yeah, we saw the meeting of Moffs, right, in Mandalorian season 3, and they're not exactly cooperating with one another fully, right? So
I think like Thrawn coming back though is the thing that's going to drive them together and work under him as a cohesive unit.
He's going to force it, and then
you'll force it,
right? And so that will make him. He is a force that's coming against the will of others, right? So that he'll make them the antagonist of the show for sure, including Mon Mothma and the New Republic. They say, you guys are dumb. You guys are going to get killed. You are going to come into the Empire, whether you like it or not, because you have to. And that puts him in opposition to our good guys, the people who want the New Republic to grow and succeed. So he may find himself in absolute opposition. He is the bad guy, but he's got a bigger plan in mind. And I do think we're going to hear him say, we have to do this to save the lives of. And the reason I say that is because these books lead right into him getting purgled out. And in these books, the Grisk are coming into Empire space. They've already planted themselves in the Empire, and that's what he was battling when he got purgled out. He's very much aware of it. He's very cognizant of it, and when he comes back, he's going to want to go confront it, especially with the absence of the Emperor, who was sort of holding him back from taking the entire fleet and going to attack the Grisk. The Emperor's like, it's not important to me. You'll do what I want, right? So I think that'll come later. Now he's not there, and that's going to be the threat. I totally believe that. At least that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, the thing we've noticed with Lucasfilm as well, though, like when it comes to the books, they will sideline it if it doesn't need to happen in the movies. So if they've set up that, and again, it's been a long time since that, and like a lot of casual fans aren't aware of the books and the events which take place. Even Rebels, so they could just set up that this is the villain, this is the bad guy, because also Dave and John have also previously teased that you will see the birth of the First Order throughout the Mandalorian like universe.
Yeah.
So once the threat of Thrawn goes, I don't think they'll be introducing the Grist. I think it'll be right now we need to start building towards the First Order rather than anything else.
Remember the Timothy Zahn quote? He's like, "There's like 9 years of stories for me to tell,"
Yeah.
and that stuff. Well,
It could be there.
the Grist, which that's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you would. That's where that. If I were just betting with
Yeah.
no opinion about what I want or anything like that, that's where it would go. I also don't think you necessarily introduce huge threats in the books and then wrap them up in a TV show. I think that would leave your book audience highly unsatisfied. And so it's a bit of it's complicated how you would handle that.
It is. I think it can be well done, though. If he says there's a bigger threat out there, you don't see them, but there's the threat of a bigger threat, right? Whether you believe him or not, and he comes in to bring everybody under his control because he has to build up the strength of the military. The movie could set up or get us set up to where he goes and chases them away. The First Order's there, and you end up with that's how the First Order comes into power, is because Thrawn takes his toys and chases the Grisk. Here you go, First Order.
Yeah.
So they definitely would have some work to do to present it, but then it would set up perfectly for Zahn to continue the stories after Thrawn chases him back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have to go. I can't thank you guys enough.
Is there a Mike Porter dad joke?
We have a Mike Porter dad joke. Thank you for reminding me.
I can't let that go.
Oh no. Why didn't a lot of people spend a lot of time with this one particular Star Wars rebel? Why didn't people spend a lot of time with one of the rebels? Well, because a little Zeb will do you.
I don't get it. But...
A little dab will do you. Right?
Oh, okay.
A little Zeb will do you.
I was thinking this little Zeb was doing something else to me, so I hope he doesn't.
I love Mike Porter. So thankful for him being here. And thank you both. You made this a wonderful show, and I appreciate your time. All right.
No, thanks to Rob.
No, Rob was great. The super chat, that $50 super chat was absolutely amazing. It does a lot to help the channel. And you guys,
someone's getting Applebee's tonight.
You should absolutely be supporting Bestman Bulletin on Patreon. You can get his stories without all those ads in them. If it's just $5 a month, that's dirt cheap. People said, "Oh, Santa, you're giving away like $800 in hot toys. What's Bestman and what's Jason giving away?" They give us all these stories. They give us every show that we've had is because the stories we get from folks like Jason and Bestman, and they're absolutely critical to this franchise and to this community. And you guys should be supporting them on Patreon, both of them. It's really easy. Go to Patreon, look them up, give them money. The end.
Do it.
That's how
I
you
can
do
finally stop selling my belongings.
Yeah. And he's got feet pics up on his Patreon.
Yeah.
I haven't explored the feet pics side of the internet.
Yeah.
I'm not going there.
Yeah.
There's a whole Discord server dedicated to my feet, Santa. You know?
Yeah. he what happens is I go over his place and I do his toes and I put little scoops that from me and from him on his little toesies and it's there.
Hey, you guys do you. That's
He
okay.
paints my nails well to make it look pretty, so when people look and zoom in for the scoops, you know.
Yep.
All right. Well, you guys,
Bye,
thanks
guys.
for hanging out with me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. I'm headed to North Carolina for a wedding, and then I'll be back Sunday evening. So you guys take care.
Do that chicken dance, Santa. Do the chicken dance.
No.
Does he do chicken dances?
Perhaps like da 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 da. Maybe we'll see. All right, you guys
everybody.
take care. We'll see you next time. Until then, my friends. Merry Christmas, and may the force be with you always. Bye bye.